ready to come to green. And here we go. As they work off turn number 2, race lead held by Dylan Cece. Chubzilla crosses down to the inside here from the number 2 spot as they work off turns 3 and 4. Bazell sits in third, Jenko in early fourth, and Douglas leads Doug in the battle of the X back there in spots 5 and 6. Top 3 pulling away a little bit here into turns 3 and 4. Cece cranking that car down off the corner. That Keystone sponsored number 18 machine pulling away here from Chubb Frank by about 3 car lengths. And Frank, he's looking out front, but he's got to watch what's happening behind him. Almost like he has to have eyes in the back of his head because Lozelle is there with that Quaddy sponsored number 12 looking to take advantage of just one little mistake as they make their way back down into turns 3 and 4. Janko by himself in fourth. The battle of the X continues here as Douglas holding on to the spot over Doug. They're followed by Bo Dobby, and then Chevy Scott is about half a lap behind your race leader as Cece will come to the halfway signal this time. 5 down, 5 left to go. So continuing to hold on to the number 1 spot, gapping out a little bit here, going into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Cece, winner of the Ron Baker Memorial, our first super late model race of the season and our season opener a few weeks back. Pulling down the backstretch here and opening up a little bit of a gap on Chubzilla, followed by Bazell in third, and Janko's been trying to run him down here in the course of this heat race with that quick fill sponsored number 29, but has not been able to get up there alongside of him. And the clock is ticking fast here as your race leader Dylan Cece takes the white flag. So final lap for Dylan Cece as he rolls into turn number 3 behind Chevy Scott with the 0. Takes his time coming off turn number 4. Charges across the line to win heat race number 1. Chubzilla grabs second. Boozle in third. Jenko fourth. And then it'll be Douglas followed by Doug in the battle of the X. Bo Dobby and Chevy Scott will round out the field here in our first super late model heat race for tonight's Pete Loretto Memorial, presented by Brakes Transport. Off turn number 2, it's going to be Greg Oaks sprinting out to about a 2-car length advantage. Side-by-side race for second. Bedell sends it in turn number 3, goes up the banking and has to tuck in behind Mike Knight with the 9K, who shot the duck down there on the inside to get into that 2 position. Hedman, meanwhile, rolling along in the number 4 spot, a little bit further back in the field. Dorman trying to do some work. Z punches it up to the top shelf in turn number 3, powers his way around Kyle Weiser with the number 34. At the front of the field, Knight drawing in here with about 1 car length of the 22 of Oaks as they come ripping off turn number 4. Oaks holding on to the number 1 spot. Knight in second. That's Bedell, Hedman, and Ryan Scott as your top 5. Dorman still working in his own groove up there. Now crossing over to the bottom here as he battles in behind the Garrett Mott number 43 as they come down off turn number 4. Dorman looking for a lane to go in. Drops it low side here in turn number 2. Mott holds him off for the moment. Dorman's going to try to stick that nose back in there in turn number 3 as the leaders hit the halfway point. Mott has the car push in the middle of the turn. Dorman is able to grab another spot there with the number 19. That will put him up into the 6th position in the field. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, it is still Greg Oaks up into turns 1 and 2 with the race lead. Again, holding off Mike Knight by about 2 car lengths, and it's a little gap back to Bedell in 3rd, followed by Hedman in 4th, and Ryan Scott in 5th. Back around through turns 1 and 2 goes your race leader, Oaks. He was quick inside the top 3 in the Qualifying sessions held earlier tonight. 2 to go this time by for Oaks. And now Greg will come around here looking for the white flag. Final lap here in our second and final super late model heat race. Greg Oaks is going to come away victorious. Mike Knight will finish in second, followed by Kyle Bedell, Bob Hedman, Ryan Scott. Then it's Dorman and Garrett Mott who will complete the field as they run through the checkers. So the field is now set for tonight's headline event, our 30-go zone here in turn number 4. And we're on the loud pedal. Heat run for the Rush Pro Mods underway. Tyler Oaks will look to the outside of Woodward as they work through turns 1 and 2. And little tippy tap there in the back end. Turns to 33 at Canfield. Sideways up against the guardrail inside of turn number 2. I don't think he made too hard a contact with it, but the yellow flag will wave. 4. Everybody's on the throttle. Back into turns 1 and 2, and again Tyler Oaks will step it up there using that highlight off turn number 2 where the super lates were running during qualifying earlier, trying to groom that thing up here as he runs side by side with Woodward. And here comes Chamberlain in the 58 car right there for third as they work back into turn number 1. Chamberlain's going to switch up here, come in on the downstairs side off turn number 2. They get the power down on the backstretch. Staying to the inside of the backstretch is actually the preferred lane here. That's not something you can say about a lot of other racetracks. Chamberlain using it to good advantage as he moves up into the second position. Now as he locks down the pass on Oaks. Canfield, meanwhile, has worked his way past Rickard and is now up in the number 4 position. And Chamberlain feeling a little racy here. Gonna look for the lead going down into turns 1 and 2, but Woodward continues to hang on to the top spot. We're coming to the halfway point this time. Woodward continues to hold on to the number 1 spot, followed by Chamberlain in second, Tyler Oaks third, Canfield fourth, Cody Rickard. Little distance back there, looks like dealing with an ill-handling car that's handling more like a dump truck on ice right now, back in the 5 spot. We'll come up on the 2 to go signal this time by. Woodward comes back down off turn number 4 here. Sees the popsicle sticks, as we like to call them. Top 4 all staying together on the track here as they roll through turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Chamberlain trying to get a little bit of a run here at Woodward coming into turn number 3. They hit a little humpy bump there and it throws Woodward out just a little bit wide coming to the white flag. And Chamberlain is right there off turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can get a dive down to the inside. Not going to have the room going into turn number 3. Car bounces and bucks on him. Woodward will win the heat race. Chamberlain winds up having to hold off Oaks for the 2 spot. Canfield finishes 4th, and Cody Rickard will grab the 5th position. Number 4 into the go zone. Tony Van Pelt has the green flying. And it'll be Watson flying into the lead through turns 1 and 2. Tommy Kemp gets a good run off turn number 2, holding on to second. Hill on the outside there going into turn number 3. Here comes Zane Harvey. Inside lane open. Harvey trying to fill the gap here coming off turn number 4. Now we got a dandy of a race for the lead going on here as we work into lap number 2. And a race for the number 4 spot. Kemp going backwards here instead of forwards as Bill Holmes gets in there. Look at that move by Harvey. That was just a little bit aggressive, shall we say. He didn't make contact. He didn't hit anything, but boy, did he slip that one in there. Now Harvey takes the lead by about 3 car lengths. Pulls away now from Watson. Hill in third. Holmes now starting to run him down coming off turn number 4. And that was the conclusion of lap 3 of the 8-lap distance. Battle for third here off turn number 2. It's going to be the 38 of Bryson Hill holding on for the moment. Holmes looking for a way by here. Trying to get that car to run off the bottom there at turn number 4, the lowest point of this racetrack. And as they head back off turn number 2, Hill holds Holmes at bay on the outside lane as the race lead continues to be held by Zane Harvey. 5 down, 3 left to go. Hill pulling just a little bit of gap there, maybe about a car length now on Holmes in that race for 3rd and 4th going into turn number 3. 2 to go signal, by the way, for race leader Harvey in 2nd place running Watson. Still an entertaining battle for 3rd, though, off turn number 2. And as this race gets a little bit later, a little more heat in the tires, seems like Hill may be a little bit quicker. He's got that car to run up on the edge of the loose dirt there, right up on the cushion, and it continues to hold Holmes at bay. Meanwhile, Zane Harvey will bring it down off turn number 4. He will come to the checkers as your winner here in our 2nd Rush Pro Mod heat race. Watson is 2nd, Hill, Holmes, and the 28 of Tommy Kemp will complete the field. 28 is going to be the Cameron Kramer 854, joined by the number 61. We've got the number 61 machine. That's Cody Rickard running in the number 4 spot. It's a throwback to one of the old Bobby Allison paint jobs from back in the day. Coming off turn number 2, it's going to be Strickland that's going to have the advantage here. Michael's in 2nd, but we have the yellow flag. Oh, I thought we were going to have a yellow flag. Sorry. I saw safety lights in the infield and didn't know why. All right. Back to your regularly scheduled race already in progress here as they head down the backstretch. Strickland's leading by a couple of car lengths over Michaels. And then you have that 854. Kramer sitting pretty right there in the number 3 spot as they come back across the line. Rickard leading the 2nd group, along with Alex Bush in the 67 and Raiden Wilson, who has spent time running in the Bandit division in the number 77. Bandit division, that is where Michaels got his start. As he continues to roll here in the number 2 spot with that 17X, we are halfway through in the Heat Race 4, the Rush stock cars, as they work their way back off 2 and down the backstretch. Separated out into about 2 groups here. Whoa, look out. That was the 854 Kramer going into the spin cycle over there at turn number 3. I don't know if he's got a tire down or he just stepped on it in the back end, lost traction. I'm sure they'd like to leave with it too. Please, thank you. All right, back to green and back underway here in this Rush stock car heat race. There's a few laps left to go in this one. They come off turn number 2. Strickland holding on to the advantage here as they roll down into turn number 3. Alex Bush in the 67. He wants to see if he can grab a spot from Raiden Wilson here coming off 4. There's a race for the number 4 spot coming under the white flag. We'll get ready for the final lap here in the checkers as they come down off corner number 4. So the win will go to Strickland. Michaels finishes 2nd. 3rd spot goes to Rickard with the 61. Wilson in for 4th, Bush 5th, and Kramer, after the spin, finishes 6th. And Chase Tidd with the red number 21 is the 3rd and final car. Same cars that we run when the mini stocks race here. We go green, and Chase goes from the back to the front one corner. I think he was a little excited to get going. And he is going. As in going into turn number 3 already with about a 6-7 car length lead. So I'll take these front wheel drive 4-cylinder machines off 4 here to kick in lap number 1. So Addie running in 2nd, Chloe in 3rd. Rush Pro Mod heat races will be up next on the docket. So back down here into turns 3 and 4. We'll complete lap number 3. 2 laps left to go for Chase Tidd with the number 21. Addie Chamberlain and Chloe Griffin still second and third. So they'll work their way up off turn number 2. And the white flag now will come out for your race leader here as we get ready to sweep off turn number 4. Final lap for the Bandits. I believe this is the age group is 12 to 15 or 12 to 16. And as I said, same mini stock specs you see at a lot of tracks here in Western New York. Front wheel drive 4-cylinder cars. Chase Tidd gets the checkers here to win the heat race. Second spot goes to Addie Chamberlain, and then Chloe Griffin finishes in third. We jump up to one of our rush sanction divisions here at